This is Adulting, Lesson 18, The Government. The job of the government is complicated. In 1788, it was to keep the King of England from invading us and to collect taxes to pay for an army to do this. Also, to promote the general welfare so that people are prosperous. They intended at the time to leave it up to us as to how exactly to do this. As a rule, the people hate taxes. If the government doesn't do an effective job of balancing this, the population goes into revolt. How does this affect you? Twice in the last 100 years, the government had to act to keep the population from revolting. In 1932 was the Great Depression. Government took on the role of feeding people. The Social Security system was invented to keep old people from starving. This was not previously thought to be the government's job. In the 1960s, there were violent riots in most major cities. The government took more responsibility to feed children. You learned about this on Lesson 17. The government took on the responsibility for regulating employment and housing for people. So who's paying for all this? You are. You pay income tax to finance this. In addition to trying to support yourself and deferring consumption, you're paying for other people who can't or don't. In the 1980s, the government lacked the adulting behavior of deferring consumption as well. The decision was made to borrow some of this money. Who did they borrow it from? You. They did this by something called deficit spending, and they're still doing it. They borrowed money from their unborn grandchildren, namely you. They thought you'd pay it back in taxes eventually. And they are deliberately reducing the value of money by printing more. This is called inflation, and they are literally bragging about what a good thing it is to be stealing 2% of your wealth every year. This is a transfer of wealth from you, the future, to them, the current consumers. This is the exact opposite of deferring consumption. It is not adulting behavior. There's a third problem that hasn't hit yet. Your grandpa, who gave your dad that crappy advice back in the 90s, will need medical care. And so will your dad, who is laid off and gained a lot of weight eating cheeseburgers. There's a school of thought that says the government should pay for this too. You may actually be fine with all of this. But at some point, your generation will be stuck with what appears to be a very serious problem. Ironic, since you didn't set it up in the first place. Hopefully, you'll be more adult about it than we are. This is the end of Lesson 18. Thanks for watching.